Hey plant friends, my name's Pete and today I'm going to show you guys how to split a begonia and propagate it to make more. And the type that I'm going to be working with today is a tuberous begonia. So you can see that this has grown really well for me this season, and lots of good stems to work with. It's the end of season, so we're into October now. So this is started to lose a few blooms, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it down and propagate these, and hopefully what will happen is I'll have a lot more different begonias. What you're going to need are handy pair of secateurs, a tub to put them into. I am using a couple of old tubs from work. It doesn't really matter, and what we'll do is we'll take these lids and we will get rid of them. So make sure that your tubs, or whatever you're using, you can use, I've seen people do it with yogurt tubs, I've seen people do it with Tupperware tubs, but I'm just using what I have. But basically something to hold in the planting material and the substrate, and yeah, that's what we're going to use. Apart from, make sure they're not like mine and you get them cleaned out. You'll also need some substrate. I am going to use some sand. You can use compost if you want, but I'm going to use sand because I find that a lot of my plants actually perform better once the cuttings are used in sand. Look, all clean. You'll also need some cling film to put over the top of your tubs. So we've got our secateurs, our cling film, our substrate, and our tubs. You also need some rooting powder. We're basically going to cut this plant up, and we're basically going to go down, look at the plant and assess where we want to cut. So yeah, we're going to cut underneath a node. So I don't know if you can, how well you can see this. So little leaf node, strip that off, strip off our blooms, and take it down to about 2 leaves. So 1, 2, and we'll get rid of this one. That is what you want to work with. Something like that should propagate well. So basically you repeat that process as many times as you want based on how many plants you would like to have. That's what I'm going to do now. Just remember to always cut underneath a leaf node. In fact, I'm going to cut that there. Take off the blooms. And of course you don't have to actually use the secateurs. You can just pick them off with your hands. Okay, so now you've got your cuttings. What you want to do is you want to take your plant, put it back where you found it, and it'll grow back next year. 19, 20, 21. So once you've got your cuttings, and they should look something like that, what you want to do is you want to get them cut. So just snip the ends off, and that leaves less moisture to dry out and leave the plant or the cutting through the leaves. And do that with all of the rest of your cuttings. And you don't want to take too much off the leaf, you just want to cut about half. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your tubs, you're going to want to get your substrate, and you're going to want to fill it with some sand or whatever substrate you've chosen. And you don't want to fill it up full. You basically just want to fill it up about a third of the way. So now that you've got your tubs filled with sand, what you want to do is you want to take your rooting powder, you take your cutting, and you just dab a little bit of root powder and shake the rest of it off. And as you can see, that's all over where the roots are going to form. Now that you've got your cutting with some rooting powder on it, you get a stick or some sort of pokey device and poke down into your substrate and just pop your cutting in just like that. And then obviously you repeat the process for all of your cuttings. One of the most crucial parts of propagating begonias is not to use too much water, because they'll rot easily from your substrate up and you'll get that black that you don't want to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm just basically going to go and give it a little bit of water across all three, and it's only the tiniest bit. And that should be more than enough. Take your trusty cling film, pop it over the top. Better than that, pop it over the top of each of your tubs or your Tupperware box or whatever you actually have. Make sure it's tight on there. And that is how you propagate some begonia cuttings. You take your plant, put some substrate in your tubs, cut your plant down to size, take all the blooms off, leave 2 leaves on it, cut your leaves, and then use your rooting powder, pop the cuttings into the tubs, and then once you've got your cling film on top, you put these tubs in a nice position in your garden. Now, make sure it gets light, but what you want to do is you don't want to make sure it's not in direct sun. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll use a north facing wall, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them up against this wall on this side, and let's see how they do. I'll keep you updated with how they're actually going, because we can see through them. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you would have done differently if you've propagated begonias before. There's different methods of doing it, but this is just how I chose to do it. I really hope you enjoyed it. Plant friends, I will see you guys in the next video.